International Baccalaureate is a worldwide nonprofit education program founded to give all students the opportunity to receive an education fit for a globalizing world. There are four IB education programs, all of which are intended to develop students' intellectual, emotional, personal, and social skills. The IB Pathway is a rigorous program offered all across the Sacramento area and is a program that benefits students' futures. IB is offered at high schools such as Intercom, Luther Burbank, Granite Bay, Mira Loma, Oakmont, Laguna Creek, and more. My name is Adiyah, and I'm the Chief of Apprentices on College to Career Ready, and today I'm joined by Tsadi and Johnny, who are both alumni of the IB program, to discuss why and how students can apply. So thank you guys for joining me today. Our first question is just why should students apply to IB? What do you get out of the program?
I think it sets you up for college, the workload, especially. And when you find yourself in a new environment, you want to be able to have the tools in your repertoire, such as time management and I just obtaining the ability to, get work done while also having somewhat of a social life. So I think IB starts you on early, and coming into like first contact with a lot of work, and yeah.
Yeah, I want to second that as well. I think it's like one of the best ways to prepare yourself for college. You start to get a strong work ethic, which you're definitely going to need in college. You start to also develop study habits like a lot quicker than some of the students coming from like other schools, which can be like really helpful when getting into college and things like that. I think also a great thing is not only that, I think it is a great GPA boost. So some people don't know this, but like how it works is when you take IB classes or like some of the AP classes, you can get a GPA bump. So instead of being, let's say you get an A, it's a 4.0, you get all A's, it's a 5.0. Which can look really good if you're trying to get into like really good universities as well. So even though the class may be like more rigorous, you still get a GPA boost. So like college, it will reflect that. It will reflect the difficulty of the course in your GPA because it will be higher. And then another thing, a great thing, a lot of people is you can get credit as well. So if you pass your IB exams, you can come out with like a bunch of your prereqs all finished for college, and then it'll be a lot easier to like, and you'll have a lot easier to finish a lot of your classes in college. Like me, I was able to get like my English and my history passed. And the English especially helped a lot because I didn't have to take a lot of the English classes that a lot of other students at my school had to, which made my workload a lot easier.
Got it. Thank you both for that input. And then another question is, how rigorous was IB? Did you feel you were able to balance IB and your personal life?
I believe it depends on the route you want to take. I think going towards the second half of high school, where IB diploma program really starts to kick in, I think that's when the rigor really started for me, because like along with the classes and your extracurriculars, you also had like outside projects like the IB essay and stuff like that. So in terms of rigor, I think that is when it kicked off for me personally. But I didn't, while it might be advertised as something that is like too rigorous and only achievable by only some people, I don't believe that. I think anybody can really do it. It's not too hard to the point where it's unachievable. But there is definitely some difficulty towards it. I think it's you're gonna need to create time management skills, as I talked about earlier. But I think it's doable.
Yeah, I agree with Johnny. I definitely think it's doable. I didn't go the diploma route that he did, so I did certificate, but I did take all IB classes. Besides, I took only IB Spanish my junior year. So I didn't do the extended essay, but I do still feel like there is a good amount of rigor to it. But I definitely don't think it's anything people should be worried about, because like it's kind of like you start to develop these things like kind of naturally as you're going through it. And I feel like as long as you have a good work ethic and like are kind of have good goals you want to achieve and continue to work for them, I think you should be fine. In addition, with the cool thing about it is sometimes the rigorous classes are a lot more beneficial to take, especially if you want to do that in college. Like me, I was interested in like electrical engineering, computer science. So I took like really rigorous math classes, and those rigorous math classes helped me then for what I kind of want to do. So it's also like kind of a good thing. So yeah, it can be rigorous, but the rigorous can be pretty beneficial, especially if you're taking classes that are like super related to what you want to do in later.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like I'm a current student in the certificate program, and I think time management is like kind of the biggest thing. You just need to know how to manage your time and like not procrastinate, and then you can really get everything done. And it can be like way chiller, I guess, and you make it seem and not as stressful. So our next question is, what does a regular day look like for an IB student from what you guys remember, like in terms of hours studying, and stuff like that?
Yeah, I can so I can talk about that. Let's see. So I definitely feel like I was able to have like a lot of fun in college. I mean, a lot of fun in high school. Just because I feel like I had a really good like balance between it. My junior, like up until my junior year, I was playing football too, so I was actually able to balance that, and that was like a thing that I really enjoyed doing. I also got to hang out with friends a lot, play basketball all the time at the park, go to the gym. So I was still able to really balance it pretty well. And I think the biggest part is like getting stuff done early. I wouldn't like kind of procrastinate with like projects and stuff. But like when it comes to like numbers, so like my HL math class, which I kind of chose to do because that's what I wanted to do, like electrical engineering, computer science. I would spend like a good amount of time. Like I would try to spend like kind of the whole week like studying like little by bit before a test comes, just to make sure that I was prepared for the test. Which helped me then in college, because in college you have to do that like all the time. You really have to like spend long periods of time studying for classes, so and really understanding the material. So yeah, I would do that, but on a day-to-day basis, I might have like 1 hour, 2 hours of homework. But like when it comes to like studying like before exams, I might spend like the whole morning on a weekend, like or a couple days just studying through for the tests. But that's more just I think would just beneficial for me, so like cramming the night before.
Yeah, second that. Try to get your work done early. I don't think it's too dissimilar to classes and other programs. I think it's just there are times in the I think high school's trimester, right? Right, or semester. There are certain times, like there are certain like times where deadlines start to come in, and then that's when like your time gets to get packed in, and then your social life gets affected. But I think on the regular, weekends are mostly free. It's just about getting your work done early, I would say.
Yeah, my name is Nasma Waliali. So I'm a current senior in IB. I'm doing full diploma. So a regular day for me is honestly pretty chill. I don't do zero period anymore, thank goodness. That's junior year, first, second semester, and then first semester senior year. But yeah, I'm pretty involved outside of my community. So I run a nonprofit called Youth Voices Sacramento, and I'm a part of like a few different boards in the community, philanthropy boards, and then also the school district board, and then a few other student voices boards. So normally a day for me would just be like going to school, coming home. I normally take an hour to decompress because that's just me. And then either I have to plan for an upcoming meeting or I have a meeting to attend to. So that can take anywhere from 2 to 4 hours of an average day for me. And then I really feel like the homework, first off, depends on what you're able to get done in class. I know that if you're really kind of on your stuff, you can really limit what you're doing at home. But then it's also just the teacher that you have. So like the history teacher I have now gives like 0 hours of homework a night, whereas the history teacher I had last year gave like 3 sometimes. So it really just depends what you have. And then I normally try to work with friends to minimize what I have to do and like try to collaborate in a non-cheating way. Um, yeah, that's normally an average day. And then junior year, I went to sleep every night, probably like 9, 10. Senior year is a little bit more hectic, more like 12, 1, just because there's a lot of other things going on. But I'm sure I could have minimized that if I maybe didn't fool off as much. But yeah, it's definitely manageable. And I think kind of the hardest part for IB that I think at this point, not just like the work, but it's also like you can't really finesse a class all the way through the end. Like you actually do have to understand and continue to understand the content. So you can't just learn what you want to learn first year and then pass a test and then go into IB second year. Like what you learn in year 1 of IB is going to be on the test at the end of year 2. So I think the real key to doing well, I think, is making sure that you actually understand the content and not just trying to get through the assignments, because that'll make it so much harder down the line.
We thank you for listening to part 1 of the IB student interview with Johnny, Tsadi, and Nasma. To further listen to this discussion, feel free to visit part 2.